Hello, everybody. This is En route, and today we're going to be talking about. I actually wrote this one down. Men are rich and women are poor. It's this thing that men tell us all the time. Women are born rich and they die poor. And men, they're born rich or they're born poor and they die rich. But here's the thing, when you look at it from the perspective of a woman, you'll see that that is actually not the case at all. Women are born poor, and unless we do something for ourselves, we remain poor. Or unless there is a man in our lives that was moral, ethical, and, loving and, actually, cares about women and children and thinks that the opposite sex is just as important as the other. Well, if that is not the case for you, then most of the time, that is not the world that you live in. Why men say that women are born rich is because of beauty. But for a woman, how is that being rich when we are more psychological, more emotional? So the beauty actually gets in the way of who we truly are deep down, and men only want to take a gander, open the page of the book because of the pretty cover, not because of the content of what is inside of the book, not even because they don't even care about the subject. It's just a pretty cover. And so women have to go around, yeah, I'm rich because I'm beautiful and I get to objectify myself and I get to, dance around for your entertainment. And it's so awesome. And I'm not saying it's not fun to sing and dance and parade around in beautiful clothing. But at the same time, can we really call it wealth? Can we really say that it's wealth? I don't know. I mean, I think it's fun. But then again, a man could do the same. He could get up in his nicest gear and dance around and parade, throw a top hat around and do the same thing. So, and in essence, when a man does it, he gets even more praise. So why would it be that men are born poor when they are born with actually more opportunity than women? They're born with the world saying, you can do it, and you have to build character, and you have to build skill, and you have to become somebody. And women are told, you can be a mother, you can be a teacher. And we're not ever told about things that, like, we're never spoken to about things that are most, like, careers that are mostly held by men. And I'm not talking about the physically demanding careers that, of course, women are less likely to have, such as tree felling, like that's very strenuous activity. It's very heavy machinery, all that, it's dangerous, it has a high death rate. Okay, obviously women are not designed for that. And thank God that men are, because what else would they do if they weren't able to do anything? So what I'm saying is that, men have this freedom that women do not have. Men say women are born rich, but then you throw us away at 30. So it's like, we're rich for how long? We have a short amount of time, but men have as long as they want. If a man gets, rich per se at 20, then he has the rest of his life, right? Because he can just keep shooting his seed around, right? So what I'm saying is that, women always get the bad end of the deal, Oh, she's beautiful, so she's lucky. She's beautiful, so she is literally the least luckiest person because people are jealous of her. She can't make friends as easy. People want to judge her based off of just the way she looks. People want to use her because of how she looks. The only reason why people give her the time of day and talk to her because they're all strucken by her beauty, but and then she's never. That's why, and this is the thing. It's like, You know, when you're beautiful, you try to hang out with beautiful people too, because you're equally yoked, right? And so they won't be intimidated by you. And that's why you hang out with people that are similar to you, or, you know, around your level, right? Because, you know, you all want to, you know, have a level of understanding, right? So if someone's not at your level, then they won't understand. And I'm not saying it isn't a privilege to be beautiful, but what I'm saying is that the privilege is only surface level. The privilege is societal, and that's, you know, great, but it's empty privilege. It doesn't there it stems from our superficial way of being, and that is the issue. That's the conundrum that women have, right? So in a way we like it, right? But then do we really like it? Because it's one of the existential things women go through. Do we really like it, or were we programmed to like it because we got all of this praise, accolades, and money for being that way? Or are we actually something more than we know? And so, you know, I think that, you know, maybe women are rich, but maybe not in the ways that we've been told about, that we're not knowledgeable about. You know, what happened to oracles? What happened to men going to oracles? You know, what happened to the spiritual essence and energetic signature of a woman? You know, people don't value women in the way that is natural. You know, we're trying to be something that we're not as women all the time. And, you know, I think we've always been trying to be something that we're not in some kinds of way. There's always been this kind of like trying to figure it out, right? And the dilemma of, you know, also having to bear the brunt of the child care, you know, things like that. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's like women are born pretty because life is going to be so damn hard. We might as well be cute so that it can be easy for us to, you know, survive. Because if we're not, we're less likely to be treated easy by society, and society will treat us more aggressively. So, you know, it's a survival mechanism. It's not so much about, you know, what humans really are. This being of evolution, of mental evolution. Like, honestly, if we can get past this gender thing, this gender bullshit, if we can get past this colorism bullshit, get past, oh my God, we're just so dumb. I'm so sorry to say it that way. I don't mean it like that. It's not like that. It's not that we're dumb. It's that we're uneducated. It's that we haven't had the proper education. And as I've gotten older, I realized the education system is just whack. And I hope my channel brings us closer to a more enlightened and higher vibrational way of thinking and looking at things, okay? And so, you know, we're going to have a variety of topics. One moment. So, as I was saying, we are going to be covering a variety of topics. Well, I am. I'm going to be covering a variety of topics. And some of it may contradict itself, but here's the thing, two things can be true at the same time. So I'm all about fighting with contradictions. I love it. Just come have a debate battle with me. I love it. It's just fucking fun. Here's the thing. My perspective on the whole male and female thing is that we have yet to understand how important the yin and the yang is. We devalue each other because we devalue each other, right? And that's the issue. That's the issue. And the thing is that the male ego is something very interesting. But the thing is that a lot of the time, what men don't understand is that they have sometimes a spiritual disorder, or a, and what women don't realize a lot of times is that men have a spiritual disorder. They have a there's a demon on that man, and this is the thing, is that I don't want to get spiritual on this channel. And see, I've been trying to like get away from it, but it always comes back to God. And the thing is that it's not like, oh, it's just about like God. It's like, when you're a bad person, and I'm gonna need some help, but when you're a bad person, you don't realize the ramifications of what you're doing. So, and you also don't have empathy, right? And so what in the Bible it says, a lot of the times God will say something like twofold, tenfold, sevenfold, right? To give a fold amount of the crime that they wanted against the innocent person. Because to do it against someone innocent, to do it against someone guilty, would have to be tripled, quadruple that punishment in order for that person to understand the lesson. And so that is why God always did things like that. And so also on the flip side, that's how he blessed his saints. He blessed his prophets. He blessed the people that followed him and his teachings, who those people that were able to turn their cheeks and things like that, right? So, when we understand that there's this virus going on, there's this misogyny that's been embedded in men for many years. It's not like this is new. It's just a new iteration of it, and social media makes it worse, right? So it's always been bad, but it's just that it's more blatant now, right? And it is our job as women to properly vet these men and to really give them no inch, like, we have to become prudes, unfortunately. That's going to have to start becoming a compliment, because if we continue to create populations with people who are not willing to heal themselves, how are we going to have a population that can grow and develop into a healthy population later on? Literally, all of the symptoms of a dying society is happening right now, and we're sitting here like sitting ducks. And I just wanted to kind of bring a different perspective onto things, a more realistic perspective, a less glamorized perspective of things, And it's not that I don't like to do all that. It's just that I'm in a certain part of my life right now where I am hyper focused on things that I want to get done. And so I've decided to, for a little bit of time, sacrifice a certain amount of things that seem fun, decide that I'm not going to have FOMO over it, and I'm going to work on the goals that I set for myself so that I can later on enjoy all of that stuff without worrying about my stability. And that is what a lot of people need to be focused on. In general, man, women, anyone. We are being illogical. And the problem with a lot of people is that they don't realize how logical God really is. He's actually a genius. So much so that it would be so smart for people to start, like, at least trying to say what's up, And again, a lot of the things that we believe, that we've grown up with, these sayings, women are born rich and blah, 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 they're just bullshit, okay? They're just bullshit. It's the same thing with women need love and men need respect, okay? Well, I could tell you something. I don't give a shit about your love unless I have some respect, okay? So, coming from a woman, I'm pretty sure a man doesn't want just respect. I'm sure he wants to be loved too. Respect isn't enough. You want to be loved. You want to be cared for. But that's the thing. That's what a person wants, man or woman. And this is what a lot of people forget, you know? And so I think people need to understand that, you know, I'm not here trying to have this battle of the sexes. I'm trying to make people understand what we're doing wrong. A lot of us have very unhealthy ways of going about life as well, you know? And there's plenty of stable, healthy relationships out there. It's just, we have to look for it. We have to, you know, find examples of it. And, you know, we get what we're looking for, right? So that's why you have to focus on what you want. The more you focus on what you want, the more closer you get to what you want. So, you know, this video is more so about a lot of common sense. You know, a lot of the programming that we've had throughout history, throughout our lives, throughout everything, it just needs to stop. You have to live life in a way that is I'm trying to find the right word. I'd say non-judgmental, right? Like actually look at the situation and don't assume anything. Like a non-assumptive perspective. Like if more people approaches life like that, you know, and again, it's okay to assume things, but the thing is, it's one thing to assume, but not investigate. It's one thing to assume, speculate, talk about, but never actually truly come to a proper conclusion. It's like, you know, that's why we have the court of law, to bring the both parties together to actually settle the differences in a place where it's mediated by someone who's unbiased to the situation. Okay, that's the point. All right. And you know, a lot of the way things are going is that a lot of things is biased, right? It's men against women. And so when we're doing that, you know, we're causing like a lot of problems. And here's the thing, the man's ego is very dangerous. It's one of the most dangerous things in the world. A man's ego it's one of the most dangerous things in the world. And there's no words for me to describe that. The weaker the man, the stronger his ego. The weaker the man, the stronger his ego. And we have created a society built on ego, but not love, not trust, not loyalty, not nurturing, not enriching the society, not on that, but on ego. Which one's bigger? Which one's bigger? Just this comparison, keeping up society, but never actually focusing on the broader things. And here's the thing, I'm not a socialist, okay? But the problem with people is that they're just like, oh no, you gotta tick a box. And it's like, no, okay, one shoe does not fit all. Some things need to be addressed in a socialist manner. Some things need to be addressed in a Republican or a Republican manner, a democratic manner. Some things need to be addressed in different manners. And the problem is that you know, if we're constantly trying to say, oh, no, it has to be one way, we're actually never going to come to the problems. And I think that's done on purpose. I think it's like, oh, you know, we're purposely like trying to make it so that society actually never really does elevate. And it's so weird because it's like, are we just self-sabotaging on purpose? You know? And that's the thing. Like, I ask myself these questions because it's like, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's ever thought of it, right? So there's got to be something a little bit bigger going on, I'm sure. I think men and women need to stop fighting. I think the family unit is the most important thing, and it's the most strongest thing, and it's the only thing that's going to create a stable society. And once you break away this family unit, you destabilize the entire society. You take away anything that is wholesome, and you create a place where everything is perverted and mental, and things degrade because nothing can survive properly in a society like that. You want to thrive, then you need to take care of the family. You want to thrive, then you need to take care of the people that are birthing the children. Because at the end of the day, and this is something that, I want men to understand, okay? This isn't about me attacking men. This isn't about any of that. But if you continue to attack the wombs in which you come from, then you devalue the womb in which you come from, then you just consistently devalue yourself, because how much are you if you had to come out of one? How much are you worth if you had to come out of one of us? How much you're worth if your life was in our hands in the smallest and most delicate time of your life? How much are you worth? So I want men to understand the power women actually have over the situation, and the fact that we would never even go to such lengths of trying to control. And the thing is, I say it that way because that's the way men think. And that's the problem. Men think in a way that is very messed up sometimes. And I'm not saying it's all men. Okay, I'm not saying it's all men, but there's this culture of men that think in a very distorted, disturbed, masculine way. And we need to understand that this is infecting our society. It's infecting our children. And if we don't heal ourselves, we're just going to continue this on further, So, that's my message. We all need to stop fighting, okay? We all need to heal. And we all need to actually understand what the bigger issue is at hand. Because if we're constantly at each other's throats and we're not powering each other up, okay, and here's another thing. There's a reason why they don't want men and women to link up in a healthy way. There's a reason. There's a reason. That Neo, the last Matrix movie with Neo and Trinity or whatever. Okay, that they were telling you something there. Okay, because here's the thing: once you become healed, fully healed, and you might link up with your fully healed, the one that's meant for you, the one that's meant to light you up, you don't understand what power couples can do. Okay, they can make things happen that you could not do on your own. Yes, you're powerful on your own. Yes, you can be very powerful on your own. But when you have the one that is for you, the one that was actually made for you, whoo, the mountains you guys can move together. So what I'm saying is, there's a reason why they want men and women to be separate. Anyways, y'all have a good weekend.